I mean, I still don't disagree with the 4.2 in the concept, so I wouldn't mind to see it tweaked somehow, but I hate to see it go away.
Okay.
Because we do, as a small facility,
Understand.
find ourselves able to stunt. We can get that girl in the stunt, but our tumblers move on.
Absolutely, and I'll give y'all both sides of 4.2. And yes, Ron, come back to your second question. I'm sorry about that. 4.2 was originally derived for people wanting to keep their kids and get more kids in the gym, because 15 and 16-year-olds, for the most part, they're not going to come in to your gym as a new cheerleader and learn a full. I mean, you're lucky to get them to do a cartwheel around off. Okay, but they'll stunt all day long. They'll throw up stunts and try new stunts all day long. You know what I mean? You know, they may get a back handspring, so that's why they can stunt at level 4. And we were trying to help you build your teams. Look, do me a favor. How many of you have a 4.2 team?
We did last year.
Okay, that's fine.
There were more 3-2.
We had a ton of them last week in New
Yes,
York.
there were more 3-2 than 4-2.
Right, yeah.
One of the ladies in Sacramento put this on the paper and said, I want to get rid of it because it's killing my tumbling classes.
Right.
Because I have girls who are coming saying, I got my back handspring, I'm never going to be throwing a full, so I'm just going to stay at 4.2. So they're not coming in for the private lessons, they're not coming in for the tumbling classes. So she's claiming she's losing revenue. That's why she wants to get rid of it. So there it is, it's on the table. Anybody got your opinions on it?
We also had a level 4 as well, and so there was something for those girls to look, you know, up to and move toward. There was a goal there in mind. So I mean, it could just be her program, and that could just be an individual's situation. So you can look at that both ways.
I mean, I guess my concern is, or irritation with it is, you know, it's like, well, let's try this at Alyssma. Let's try it at Alyssma. You know, I mean, it's kind of like, well, let it pan out. It takes a while for things to pan out.
And that's why it's still there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
After the first year we did it, we said, should we take it? We said, no, let's give it time and see what goes. And actually, there was quite a large number of 4.2s last year.
Yeah,
Across
I mean, I
country.
noticed that when we got to like US finals, things like that there were more who were going here.
And so it's not going anywhere, at least for another year. I think a lot of people sympathize or more empathize with what she was saying and can't understand why she was saying that, but still wanted to keep their 4.2 teams. So I think everybody's got tryouts like, no, we got a 4.2 team. They're not going anywhere. These kids ain't, we're going to tumble.
I think everybody's frustration with I know mine, with frustration with 4.2 is I understand what it was intended for the situation with what you said, but I have yet to see, I've seen plenty of 4.2s, but I have yet to see a team actually use it for what it was intended for. For the, like we said, like the older kids, but then you're seeing on these 4.2 teams, you're seeing 7- and 8-year-olds. Yeah. And so again, it's one of those divisions that the abuse is just so widespread. And that's why, it amazes me how all of a sudden we get all these 4.2s popping up. Like, how can you have that many kids in that age group coming into the sport this late? It just doesn't, but then there's 9-, 10-year-olds on the team. And I know we're never going to be able to police abuse, but if they could have a division for what it was intended for example, the senior open 5, do it for what it was intended for, and not start allowing all these different, you know, restrict the age, restrict the age on it, and leave it there.
In a small program, though, I mean, it's not really abuse if you're using the rules. It's not abusing the rules, it's just using the rules to your advantage if you're a small program.
It's the bigger gyms
No, it's
that
not
have
the small
level 5s and
program,
4s. And
right? Because that could be a stipulation.
Then
too.
where do you draw the
There's a
line
bunch
though?
of
Then is
double teamers on
4.2
there
only
to
for
fill
small
that team
gyms,
and
or is
Yeah,
4.2
maybe
only
4.2
for
would
large
have to be-
gyms? You
Yeah,
know?
maybe that's it. 4.2 would have to be in small gym division or senior division only, and the girls would have to be such and such age.
But the problem is in large gyms, we have just as many, if not more, 16-year-olds walking in who didn't make high school cheerleading, whose parents want to keep them in activity. We probably have double the number. And to be quite honest, the reason you're seeing the tiny flyers is because the tiny flyers can tumble. The whole point of 4.2 was that 16-year-old girl who can only do a back handspring. Well, that 16-year-old girl who just walked into your gym ain't going to be flying at level 4. There is no way, if she has never done all-star cheerleading before, I am not going to get her in an extended heel stretch in 90 days. It's not going to happen. So then we are forced to go and say, hey, you know, I know you throw around off tuck, but you're a level 4 flyer. We need you because these 16-year-olds don't have anybody to put up safely. We could try, but I can guarantee you by October, If I start putting up 16-year-old flyers who've never flown before, they miss progressing level 1, 2, and 3.
So then,
It's the size, it's their upper body strength. We get hosses. We get girls that could probably main base by themselves. It's the upper body strength, but now you're taking a girl at 16. I mean, it would be like me teaching a 4-year-old, I want you to trust me to throw you backwards. You gain that sense of fear, so now I'm gonna go to a 16-year-old and say, let me throw you 10 feet in the air, and now I want you to trust that we're gonna catch you. It's a lot easier to teach somebody to base than it is to get over the fear of flying.
right, okay, well, let me ask this question, because maybe it sounds like to me, then I have a senior 2 team, not a 4.2.
Right.
What is, I guess that's my question then.
That's possible.
What's the big deal then turning that team into a senior 2 team instead of a 4.2 team?
Well, your senior twos don't want it, the senior kids don't want a prep level stunt.
They don't have to. Senior level 2 isn't prep. They can do full extension, 2-leg full extensions. They can do halves at prep. Everybody wants to be the flyer. Everybody wants to be, and we have to, as gym owners, we have to say all the time, and as coaches, everybody can't be a flyer. Well, everybody can't be on level 4. We have to, sometimes we have to be honest and say that. And I think that sometimes we're just afraid to be honest.
If we are supposed to be properly progressing, it is okay to have a senior 2 team because of that philosophy. That's my opinion. I mean, I think that's because, like I said, you could have a youth team who can tumble the lights out of the place but needs a stunt level 2. So do we have a 2.4? Right. I mean, we're opening a huge floodgate with a lot of that. I mean, I think it's okay to say our industry is about progression at any age. And so we have a senior 2 team because that's a progression that she's going to be successful at, and feel like I have been a part of a team that I was a part of and I was a member of, but I was a level 2. Versus, well, we're going to go 4.2 just because you want to do the 1 leg, but that's not your progression. You've missed the progression.
Level 4.2, the biggest part of the mental part of what we do is tumbling. So to me, seeing the 4.2 was created to kind of help some of those kids that will never get past the backflip and the head over heels and get to level 3 or level 4 because they're continuing to progress at stunts. It's a separate skill, but they're just not progressing at tumbling. They're too afraid. And we've, Debbie Love has had countless instruction on how to get past that mental block. And there's kids you just can't get past. You just can't. So then you just tell them you're only going to stunt at level 2 because that's all you tumble at.
Those of you who are passionate about it, want to make a change or suggest change, write it down. This is just a discussion thing. No votes are done today. Write it down, get support, and turn it in.